is held pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act. Notice has been properly posted and filed with the municipal clerk of the Township of Rockaway. Mailed to all those persons requesting notification, provided to the citizen of Morris County, January 9th, 2019. Notice to the paper was via email. Attendance?
Ms. Smith?
Here.
Here.
Watson?
Here.
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 Present.
Mayor Here. Mr. Remington? Here. Mr. Dimin?
Here.
Mr. Babcock?
Present.
Mrs. Snipes?
Present.
Mr. Black?
Here.
And Chairman Elder.
Present.
Excuse me, before we begin, can I have a point of order?
Yes.
I need to be recognized. I have to tell you this before we start the meeting. I was contacted by a resident today with concerns about tonight's meeting, and I apologize that I wasn't able to raise the issue earlier, but I did not know there was an issue. Upon receiving that call, I did some research and noted the following. Pursuant to NJSA 10-4-17, the Open Public Meeting Act requires that whenever a member of a public body believes that a meeting of such body is being held in violation of the provisions of this act, he shall immediately state this at the meeting, together with the specific reasons for his belief, which shall be recorded in the minutes of that meeting. Whenever such a member's objections to holding of such meetings are overruled by the majority of those present, such a member may continue to participate at such meeting without penalty, provided he has complied with the statute, the suits imposed upon him by that section. Therefore, I must object to this meeting. Unless the public body, like the planning board, invokes the emergency provisions of NJSA 10-4-9, the Open Public Meeting Act requires that adequate notice be provided. The last few months have educated many of us, myself included, on the requirements of Open Public Meetings Act. Included in all notices the requirement that the notice shall accurately state whether formal action may or may not be taken. I have reviewed both notices which were published in the beginning of the year, and neither contain this requirement. A review of the notice that was published by the council, and interestingly, the zoning board does include the required language. As a result of the notice deficiency not containing the required information, I do not believe the meeting of the planning board was properly noticed in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Given that the council and more recently the zoning board and environmental commission have been sued for violations, I believe we must cancel tonight's meeting because of the notice deficiency, in the same manner that the environmental commission did just last week on May 15th. Again, I'm sorry to bring this to your attention at this late time, but I just do not want to see the taxpayers of Rockaway Township pay for another lawsuit. Thank you.
Ms. Smith, can I have a copy of what you just read, please?
Sure. Oh, I forgot to say one thing I just wrote on the top, but that's okay. I forgot to...
Excuse me, ma'am, let me just respond.
Sure.
First of all, I believe that this is a net opinion saying that it's a violation. Why don't you tell us with specificity, ma'am, exactly what the violation is, exactly what the initial notice was, if that was allegedly a violation of what the violation is this evening.
You want me to tell you? I just read it. I just said that the...
Is this from you or from a member of the...
It's from me.
Is this from you?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is with specificity.
Okay.
Are you saying?
It's your microphone.
With specificity, what are you saying that the violations are? That what you read is what's known as a net opinion, Ms. Smith.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what
Please.
my opinion is then, I guess. I don't want to see the township sued again for not having included in there that formal action will be taken at the meeting.
Okay.
And apparently, the other commissions have been sued, and township, the council has been sued for having a similar notice without that information contained in it, and I don't want to see that happen to us.
First off, ma'am, I have read the lawsuit. I'm privy to the lawsuit.
Okay.
All right. I have read the Municipal Open Public Meetings Act. All right. The Municipal Public Meetings Act says, in essence, that within 7 days after the reorganization meeting, notice of the, in fact, I can read it to you if you want, but it's basically, I'll paraphrase it, it says, notice must be given as to the time, date, and place of anticipated meetings. And at least 10 days before, notice must be given as to whether or not there's going to be a meeting, and with the degree of specificity, there must be some indication as to what is going to happen. I've seen the notice requirements as set forth in the application, and it's statutorily fine.
Okay.
So we're going to move
Just
forward
wanted
with
to
this.
bring it out.
I understand
You
that.
wanted to see a problem.
I don't believe it's a problem. The same token,
Okay.
in the same token, the other lawsuit, the lawsuit that you talk about talks about the fact that there are no minutes that were supplied. So that,
Correct.
we take minutes.
Yes.
Minutes are available.
Well, yes, we
Minutes
do.
Minutes are available.
Minutes have always been available from the planning
Under
board.
the applicable case law, the notice requirements by this applicant, as with all the applicants that come before the board, it says with specificity what the applicant is looking, what the site is, what the applicant is looking for, and that it's looking for.
They still have to vote on her objection.
Certain other relief. That, the mere fact that those words, quote, that you say, action might be taken, those are not magic words that have to appear in spite of what that lawsuit says. The case law is very clear. If favorable notice is given, that people can lead to the conclusion, be left with the conclusion that action is going to be taken and something is going to happen, that satisfies the statutory and case law. We're going forward with this application.
You have to vote on her.
You have to
thing.
vote on her objection, sir.
Sir, there will not be any talking from the audience, and if that continues, you'll be asked to leave. Now,
I have to
Very-
recuse myself. I have to recuse myself from the Fox View.
Okay, let's continue the business before. we get to that.
Okay.
Okay, we had, everybody received the minutes for the regular meeting of April
He's not
15,
voting.
2019. I just have one correction
Did
on
they
the
not
last
learn from
page.
September 14th?
The next regular meeting was scheduled for 5:15, or 5:20, not 5:18. Okay?
Was that-
Are
she
there
asked
any
for a
other
vote.
corrections, additions, or deletions?
Have to vote on
Then I
her.
see none, make a motion to accept the minutes as written. Phyllis? Second.
I'll-
Second, Mayor?
let's hear the contrary. I'll assume
Phyllis
it's
doesn't have
unanimous.
enough to say, wait.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, I have to stay because I wasn't here.
You weren't here.
Okay,
What the hell?
the regular order of business tonight is a public hearings, planning board